guys, welcome to the Watchtower Watch Reviews with your host DK, and it is Chinese Watch Christmas. That's right, it is AliExpress 11/11 sale. They do these sales every year, once a year, 11th of November. There's probably some significance. I think it might be the anniversary of AliExpress starting or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, there's nearly always some sort of deals to be had in the 11/11 sale, and I've got a list of them for you here. My picks for the top this many watches on screen now that I think you guys should be aware of and that you should potentially pick up in the sale. There will be affiliate links down below. Usual disclaimer, I get paid if you buy them through the links. You don't pay any more though. There will only be one of these videos released. I'm not in the habit of releasing multiple videos on the same subject within, the space of a couple of hours, like some other reviewers I've seen. How did that get there? Unusual. Anyway, let's crack on with this video and see exactly what it is I've got picked out for you guys for the 11/11 sale. Let's get to it. Alright guys, first watch up on the list is the Seestern Doxa Homage. So I did get sent one of these for free, so do bear that in mind. But even if I didn't, I still think I'd be recommending this one. For 200 quid, including taxes shipped to Ireland, you get the best looking Doxa Homage available on AliExpress and possibly anywhere around the place as an homage. There is a sapphire crystal, there's a loomed date wheel, there's a beads of rice bracelet, there's an NH35 in there, it's a 40mm diameter and a short lug to lug with 200 meters of water resistance, meaning that you can wear this one no matter how big or small your wrist is. You also have a couple of different colour options. I've got a yellow one, there's also a very fetching Tiffany blue one, there's also an orange, there's a red, and there's a really nice mother of pearl that watches with George, and I can't remember who else has got. I think Jason, the watch guy, also has one of those. I picked the yellow one because, well, I don't have many yellow watches and it adds a splash of colour. As I say, the specs are pretty good for this one. You get a beads of rice bracelet with a milled clasp which is signed with the Seestern logo, which is a little, I was going to say octopus, but no, a starfish. I was getting my brands mixed up. Seestern is of course German for starfish. The shape, irregular shape on that one is definitely correct. You can see there, this is my 7-inch wrist. It wears quite well. It does sit down quite nicely on the wrist. I have mine reasonably tight without being excessively. I think I have a couple of links removed. I'm trying to remember, it's 4 or 5 links removed, and I have it worn on the smallest micro adjust. So I like to keep mine pretty tight. Some people prefer them looser. It's all personal preference. You can see there you do get a signed crown as well, and all stainless steel construction. No loom pip though, because it is homaging the Doxa, which also doesn't have a loom pip at the moment as far as I know. And if you'd like to try out different straps, this is a cheap and cheerful one I got on eBay. I won't bother putting an affiliate link for it, but I'll see if I can find you another kind of yellow AliExpress silicone strap. They are hard enough to come by actually. I did struggle to find yellow silicone straps on AliExpress for whatever reason, but I think this one suits it quite well, and I'll throw a couple of different strap options down below for you guys if you do want them for any particular reason from AliExpress. Up next is a watch you've seen me unbox on the channel previously, but I haven't quite gotten around to reviewing it yet. It is my pick for Fleeger Watch in the AliExpress sale. It is of course the Escapement Time Chronograph Fleeger Watch. Let's get into it. Yes, indeed, when I unboxed this, I think I call this one the Fleeger that might stay in my collection. The Escapement Time Chronograph, this is a great little piece in fairness to it. It's the Escapement Time Chronograph with the Miyota Mecha Quartz movement inside, all brushed stainless steel construction as you'd expect with a German pilot watch, or a Flieger as they're called, 100 meters of water resistance and a sapphire crystal built into this one. Nice size as well at 40mm, means that you can rock it if you've got a big wrist, you can rock it if it's got a small wrist, and neither of them are going to look out of place. Now I don't have the original strap because I didn't actually buy this one on AliExpress, so I've got it on a buffalo grain black leather strap. It's real nice, or actually sorry, it's Italian buffalo leather actually. The guy I got it from, a Portuguese guy I found on Facebook, sold it to me. It's an absolute stunning piece, and every time I've got it on, including today, I just absolutely love it and spend most of my day just staring at it, especially with those blued hands. You can see there as well, you do have a date function down at 6 o'clock. This is a straps called Desari strap. They sent this to me for free. I do not have to send it back. However, I would recommend you swap out straps on these ones. Fleeger straps have never really been my thing. They seem to be quite plasticky, or at least they are off all the ones I've had off AliExpress anyway, and I just think they really bring down the look of the watch. However, I think if you are going for something, this straps go is a nice way to go. An old favourite I'm recommending, a watch that I did very early in the genesis of this channel. It's a fantastic piece. This would probably be the last time I recommend it though, unfortunately, because the prices are starting to creep up the whole time. They're just going up and up and up. And eventually it's going to get to the point where value for money, it's still value for money, but when I paid 40 quid for a year ago and it's now almost at 80 on the on-sale price, it's getting harder to recommend. So this will be the last time, and Outfitter saying, and au revoir to an absolute firm favourite of mine, the Cadisen C1032. Yes, I couldn't make one more AliExpress video without recommending the Cadisen C1032. What an absolute cutie this watch is. It's not an homage of anything in particular, it seems to be just its own unique little thing. It does what it does. It's a really nice dress watch as well, high polished stainless steel construction throughout. The bracelet has a butterfly clasp which is signed, and it is all high polish as I say, so it does pick up a lot of sunlight. Seiko NH36 in it though, with 50 meters of water resistance and a sapphire crystal, and for the price of it, which is €63.50 on the cheapest price I could find it on sale, including with taxes for me shipped to Ireland, you can't really go wrong for that price. I still wear this one out to dinner. I still think it's absolutely fantastic. I did take it off the bracelet it was on originally, which is a three-piece, no, it's not a three-piece, it just looks like a three-piece oyster style bracelet, and put it on this. Again, this is a Strapscope Beads of Rice. I just threw it on this because I thought it really suited the dress watch stylings of it, but it looks equally good on leather, and it is a fantastic piece. I've recommended it enough at this stage though. And from a watch that's reasonably good value to a watch that is absolutely no money at all. This is an homage to the Casio Tank by Skmei. The Casio Tank, of course, is itself sort of an homage to the Cartier Tank, or at least it looks a little bit like it. Plenty of colours available. You can have it in gold, you can have it in silver, you can have it with a blue dial, you can have it with a black dial, and you can also have it in rose gold. I think I've got the silver dial. I was trying to remember off the top of my head there. It's not a particularly specced out watch in fairness, because of the fact that it is a cheap and cheerful Chinese one, but it has a quartz jewel ani-digi movement with an alarm, with a chronograph, dual time functionality, and unlike the Casio actually, a backlight. So if you want the Casio Tank but you really want a backlight and you want to be able to read it at night, because this one does not have any lume at all on the hands, make sure to get the Skmei, because this one actually has a usable backlight. Now, as you can see, I haven't really worn this one very much because I haven't even got round to sizing the bracelet. The bracelet is folded and rolled links with a pressed clasp. It does say stainless steel. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but if I was you, I would spend a little bit of money, buy an extra strap on AliExpress as you're going, and swap out that as soon as possible. Yet another repeat offender is the Dive / Steeldive SD1970, aka their homage of the Captain Willard. You guys saw I reviewed the watch. The review did quite well for me actually, so thank you to everyone who watched it. I sold the watch to a guy I know, and I ever since regretted that decision. I ended up rebuying the same watch in the last sale that AliExpress had. So if I bought it twice, there's a solid chance this is a good watch. And to be honest, every time I see it, I just think, why do I have any other watches? I could just wear this all day, every day. So let's take a look at it and get some specs and see it on wrist. Yes, I know I did say Dive, but unfortunately the Dive seller that I used to buy from seems to have bumped his prices up a little bit. So instead we're going to go with the Steeldive SD1970. Pretty much the same watch. I don't really think there's any major difference on these ones, bar what they actually stick on the dial. There's a couple of different colorways available. There's a green, there's a blue, there's a black, a couple of different strap options as well. Dive straps, nothing really to write home about, especially on the bracelet. Wouldn't be a huge fan of them myself. I tend not to wear mine on the bracelet for very much. It's a pressed clasp, but it is solid links and solid end links though for this one, and it does have there's push pins on it. However, if I was you, I'd just get the rubber or the silicone, because to be honest, that's the way you're going to wear it anyway. If you're like me, you're going to homage the Captain Willard from Seiko. Why not go the whole hog and have it on a Tropic? You've got 20 bars of water resistance, so 200 meters. You've got your Seiko NH35, which is the hacky and hand winding automatic movement. Beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, so 6 ticks at a second hand per second. You've got a good size on it. While it's an odd shape, I think it's a 45mm. They say 46.8. I'm not sure about that. But very short lug to lug on this one though. And with 20mm lug width, you'll be able to swap it out for any strap you want. It also has 200 meters of water resistance, stainless steel construction, excellent lume, ceramic bezel insert, anti-reflective sapphire. Unfortunately, it does have a pressed clasp, as I say. And if you don't want stainless steel, there is also a bronze variant. You do pay a little bit more for the bronze, but I said I'd throw in a bronze one for those of you who might be interested in that and going a little bit outside the box with this one. I really like it. If I was you though, I'd make sure to get the one with the ceramic bezel and the lume on it, because if you don't, you get a bronze bezel, which could seize up over time. Bronze bezels tend to do that because of what they call patina, which some of you might think of as rust. They start to go kind of a bluey green with oxidization of the air, and that means then if you're not turning the bezel, it can actually seize up and get stuck. Now, I'm not a bronze guy. I find them a little bit too heavy, but I know there's plenty of people out there who are bronze guys. However, I am very much an Steeldive guy. You've seen me with a couple of these on. I've had the Steeldive Sumo Homage. I had this exact watch about a year ago. I did sell it, as I said in the intro to this watch, and I ended up rebuying it because I absolutely adore this thing. I think if I was in that sort of conundrum where it's a case of there's a watch you take a watch out of a burning house and there's no more of them going to be ever available, I'd actually be hard pressed not to grab this, because honestly, it's the watch I really, really like. It might even be my favorite out of all of my watches, and that's saying something with a collection of about 40. I wear it most of the time on this green Tropic, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Next up is a brand I actually have no experience at all with, and this is unusual for me to recommend one of these, but I did get a message from one of the subscribers, Owen. Shout out to Owen for sending this one on to me. This is a Bliger. So you have two options. You have a California dial, or you have an Explorer style dial, 200 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown, stainless steel construction on this one. 14.2 millimeters thick though, might not suit everyone, especially if you're going to throw it on a NATO. Then afterwards that goes up to maybe 15 to 15 and a half, which is quite thick for a watch of this size. They're saying the dial is 39 millimeters, which means the case is probably 40 to 41, but it is a great looking piece. I really actually want to get one of these, and I'm actually in communication with the vendor to see if they'll give me a bit of a discount to review it. Another offering from our buddies at Pagani Design. This one is a GMT. They've done a number of different GMTs. They did a GMT Master 2 Homage. They did the Polar Explorer GMT Homage. And they also have now done this one, the Tudor GMT Homage. And this really has become one that I've looked at every day in my watch box and thought, I can't wait to wear that a bit more for the review. So I've unboxed on the channel, I haven't reviewed it. Let's take a look at it on wrist and get some specs. I know, I can't believe we got this far into an AliExpress video without recommending a Pagani, so let's correct that right now. This one is from the Trendy Men's Watch Store. It's about 110 quid, but there is discount codes on the screen available. Make sure you pick up those discount codes as well. You can use my link and follow it to the Trendy Men's Watch Store, but make sure to get the discount code as well, because why not? Save yourself the extra money, guys, seriously. You can also get this one available from a European warehouse if you can't really wait for it. It will cost you a little bit extra in shipping. However, this is one of the few watches with with Pagani Design, I should say, that actually has decent-ish lume on it. So you've got a loomed aluminium bezel insert on this one. You've got a stainless steel case and bracelet, 200 meters of water resistance, again unusual for a Pagani Design, a Pearl DG5833 hacking and hand winding GMT movement, and a sapphire crystal with a coin edge on it. It's actually quite a nice little piece. I've worn it quite a bit. Haven't really done a review on it as of yet because I just want to try it out on a couple of different things. However, I went for the Pepsi variant. They are all aluminium bezel inserts, so if you do want a red one, then pick up a red one because they're all aluminium. You're not going to get a ceramic by buying a blue and black or a plain black or anything like that. So treat yourself, get a Pepsi or get a Batman or get a Coke variant. It doesn't really matter. Just pick the one that you really like. Honestly, they're all quite nice. The faux rivet bracelet is one of the better ones that Pagani have done. That's not saying much, but it is definitely one of the better ones. And the brushing on it is actually semi-solid. It's not too bad at all. The clasp as well is this sort of milled clasp with 3 levels of micro-adjust and a pressed diver's extension. I'm starting to like these more. They did them on 1 or 2 watches at the start and I wasn't a huge fan of them. They're definitely better than the Rolex style clasps that they were using, but there's still a bit of ways for improvement. The diver's extension does look a bit cheap and nasty, but it is still nice. Just be aware as well that little thing around the crown is always red on all of them, whether you buy a Batman, I believe, or whether you buy any of the others. However, if you don't want it on the bracelet, I do believe there is also an option of getting it on silicone, I think. If not, maybe pick yourself up. This is a Pagani Design branded actually silicone strap. It's incredibly comfortable. It's got quick release springs on it so you can take it on and off very, very easily. And it actually really suits this watch, and it might even suit better if you went for one with a bit of black in the bezel just to match that dial as well. But all in all, a really, really nice piece. So from a brand I've had loads of experience with to a brand I've not had much experience with, but I kind of have. So this is Matic. This is their SKX Homage with the Brian May style dial on it, with that sort of, it's almost like a yin-yang with the red, black and white. This used to be Phylida, but they actually spun off their brand to become Matic, or Automatic as you might think. It's a really nice watch. Of course, it's an SKX Homage, so it's going to wear fantastically. It is 300 meters of water resistance, top hat sapphire glass, all stainless steel construction. As you can see there, a fully loomed ceramic bezel insert, an NH36 with a black day date, so it's actually making an attempt to color match as well, and anti-reflective coating on that sapphire. Stainless steel construction as well, and I have heard from the brand owner they are looking to update the bracelet. However, I think that will come just after the AliExpress sale, unfortunately. So if you do want one of these, you're going to have to deal with the stock bracelet, which to be honest from the pictures looks fine. It has solid end links, solid links and a milled clasp. While I myself am not a massive mechanical chronograph guy, I couldn't let this one go by. The Chinese 1963 mechanical bronze chronograph, coming in at about €207, including taxes and shipping. You can get one with this panda dial. No dates on these because it is the Seagull ST19 mechanical movement, so there is no date function on it. 50 meters of water resistance, sapphire glass, and of course that spectacularly gorgeous movement, the ST19. I had one of these movements in the Phylida Speedmaster watch, Phylida Speedmaster Homage, I should say, an homage of course, the watch that went to the moon with Omega. There is also this one with a different set of subdials on it. The brand is Anyada. I know nothing about Anyada, but I know a lot about the ST19, and it's a damn good movement. A bronze watch as well, as not something I normally deal in, but I know there's plenty of fans of them, so I said I'd include a bronze chronograph and knock out a couple of birds with one stone. 13 millimeters thick. I remember mine being quite thick, all right, my Phylida one. So just be aware, it's for those with slightly larger wrists. And finally, one last GMT, the Gravitational Wave GMT. €213, so it's the most expensive watch on the list. It isn't cheap, but you do get a high beat Hangzhou 6460 GMT movement in it. It is also kind of a unique design. I don't know if this is an homage of anything. I ran it through Google Lens, nothing came up. So kind of leave me a note down below if you know if this is an homage of anything or if you see it. 200 meters of water resistance on this one, all stainless steel. You get sapphire glass, ceramic bezel insert, and it does come with a 2-year warranty. Now it doesn't have any, it does have loom on the ceramic bezel insert, but only as a loom pip, so you're not getting a fully loomed bezel insert, which would have been awesome, but it's still a pretty good looking watch. And if it's a high beat GMT automatic for 200 quid, how can you go wrong really for that price? So guys, there you have it, my recommendations for the AliExpress 11/11 sale of 2021. What a year it's been for me personally with the channel, and of course around the world. I think we could all do with cheering ourselves up a little bit this year. Maybe pick up a couple of watches for yourself, whichever ones interest you and whichever ones you can afford. As always, don't ever spend more than you can afford to. The channel doesn't need you to buy the watches. It is a nice gesture, of course, if you do decide to buy them and you want to use the affiliate links. That helps me out as well. Guys, thank you very much for all the support as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. I've been your host DK. This has been the Watchtower Watch Reviews, and I will see you guys next time.